Hey my loves, it's Kaylin Rose and I'm back with another video today. To those of you who don't know me, welcome. This is a prophetic channel with prophetic teachings and life lessons. And to those of you who are returning, welcome back. So today's message is that forgiveness unlocks blessings. Not only that, but forgiveness unlocks your faith. So I want to get straight into this on how some of us, because we've been forgiven of so little, we find it hard to forgive others who we deem that they really crossed the line. Meanwhile, Jesus is the forgiver of everything, any sin. So it's straight out of Luke 7 verse 36. And it says, when one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. A woman in that town who lived a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she came there with the alabaster jar of perfume. As she stood behind him at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them, right at their feet. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner. Jesus answered him, Simon, I have something to tell you. Simon said, tell me, teacher. Jesus said, 2 people owed money to a certain moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back. So he forgave the debts of both. Now which one of them will love him more? Which one that owed a bigger debt will love that person for forgiving their debt more? Simon replied, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven. Jesus said, you judged correctly. Then Jesus turned toward the woman and Simon and said, he's talking to Simon and them. He's not even paying attention to the Pharisee at this point. He said, do you see this woman? I came into her house and you did not give me any water for my feet. But the woman, the sinner, she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman from the time I entered has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put oil on my head, but she has poured perfume on my feet. Therefore I tell you, as many sins have been forgiven as her great love has shown. But whoever has been forgiven little, loves little. Then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. And the other guests among themselves said, who is this that he even forgives sins? And Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. So I don't know if y'all are tracking with this story, but let's just start off with the fact that people will call you a sinner. They know everything you've done, and they're like, how is she chosen? Why did God lift her up? Why are you getting blessed? You done did X, Y, and Z. You done stole. You could have been a liar. You could have been a murderer. You could have been a prostitute. But whatever the case may be for you, I know what my case was, that there's holy people in the church that is like, why is she blessed? Why did she get this? Why did she get that? I haven't been with a girl, slept with a girl before. I haven't never took pills or whatever the case may be. And God is blessing the sinner. That's what Pharisees are. They are religious people who follow everything by the book and still lack the one thing that Jesus is requiring, which is faith and forgiveness of sins. Because we're all sinners. It's being righteous in your own sight is what a Pharisee is. And the craziest part about the woman that's a sinner, she had an alabaster jar. So it's like, be careful who you label as a sinner, because with the alabaster jar, it's a jar where if you put something inside it, you can't smell what's in it. So someone could have labeled and wrote me off as a sinner, not knowing what God has placed down on the inside of you. Someone has labeled you and written you off in life, not knowing the kind of stuff God has placed down inside of you, not knowing who you're going to be, not knowing God's going to bless you within this year, not knowing where you'll be next year. But that's what Pharisees in your life do. They put labels under you where God hasn't even put a period, where God puts a comma. She lived this life. She was a sinful woman. And her faith, comma, and her faith has saved her, has made her well, has healed her from all the sins that she used to do. And what Jesus did for this sinful woman, he's able to do for you. But the also bottom line is that those who have been forgiven of little, maybe you haven't prostituted, you haven't been to a strip club, maybe you haven't been gay, maybe you haven't slept with someone other than your husband. But those who have done a lot towards Jesus tend to be the main ones going hard for him, tend to be crying at his feet, worshiping him, praising him with all their heart and soul, discipling other people. So you have to check in your heart, who do you need to forgive today? Because it's blocking your blessings from God. It'll block your relationship with God. It will block you in life for looking down on other people. If you can't forgive, how do you expect to be forgiven? And when you have been forgiven a very little, you tend to love others little. We are all guilty of this. I know I'm guilty of this. I probably haven't done as much as many other people have done. You know, there's testimonies of the wildest things, and those people go to war for Jesus. So we have to look at our nature. Have you forgiven someone that has literally backstabbed you 500 times? Because we've done that to Jesus. We can sin every day. So I just want someone to know that by faith, have it in your heart to forgive anyone that has owed you your peace, owed you your time, that owes you literal money. Because God has forgiven our debts a whole lot. And meanwhile, on the other end, the other message for you all is that you don't know what God has placed down on the inside of you. So do not let anyone label you off as the girl who was always a whore, the girl who slept with everyone, the guy that nobody wants to date, the loser, the angry person, the wild girl. Jesus is the one that's able to forgive us of everything we've ever done. And we do this through prayer. Have it in your heart today to forgive someone that has caused you bitterness and a hardening of heart. I love you guys.